Namaste, hello. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And it's my honour, as always, to be here sharing with you today. So I am here to pull some cards and share some guidance for Friday the 26th of January and Saturday the 27th of January. So it's a bit later in the day at this time for me, more so than usual. Usually I share in the morning, but it's 6 p.m, just gone 6 p.m. here on, what day is it? Friday the 26th of January. Hello Chelsea, lovely to see you. Hi Raven. Hi Elaine. Hi Carol. And Janita's here. Lovely to see you. Extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. What am I going to say? I don't know. Oh yes, welcome if you're new to watching. If you are new to watching, extra special welcome. Let us know if you are new so we can all welcome you in the comments if you want to. What I'm going to be doing today is using my Speed of Light Oracle cards, and I'm going to be pulling one card for Friday, one card for Saturday, and one card for the theme for Friday and Saturday. I am not doing personal requests for guidance here today. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust something shared will be helpful and supportive for you. So be open to receiving what you need. Keep in mind that what you need and what you want can be two very different things. So if you're open to what you need, then you can trust that you will receive something helpful during our time together today. So let's see what happens. We've got Puss here, right here. Now she doesn't come out very often now, does she? So I better turn the camera around so she can say hello. Maybe. There she is, very close up. No, she's not amused. She's a bit crabby with us because we had a neighbour complain that she was, because she's not really an inside cat as far as of a night. So we had a neighbour complain that she was going over to the neighbour's yard of a night and terrorising their dog. So we had to, I told the guy that would, I don't know, leave it with me, I'll work something out. So we built her an enclosure which she can access from inside, and she was not impressed the night before last because it was her first night out in this enclosure. So she got a bit crabby with us yesterday and she took off and she spent the whole night out. So she's still a little bit crabby that we put her into the cat enclosure. But she'll have to get used to it, especially with the retreat coming up, because she's going to have to spend 7 days straight in the cat enclosure. So we're trying to warm her up to that. So I don't know if that'll work or not. We've got 7 days to find out. So, okay. So I trust that you're doing well. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Chantel. Yes, it is quite funny. Yeah, she took off last night, nowhere to be seen. And then when I got up this morning at 7 o'clock and came outside, she was nowhere to be seen. So she's passed out all day. So I think she walked a few miles or something, as she sometimes does. So anyway, let's have a look and see and what the best card's going to be that wants to come out for Friday the 26th of January. So Friday the 26th, I trust that the best card will find its way to the top. And I have no expectations. I'm just here open and we'll see what comes up. So the best card for Friday the 26th of January is this here. Oh, we've got card 33 called Gaia. And the keywords down at the bottom here say spring, nature, message, listen, and life. So this is talking about nature. It's talking about getting outside, fresh air, sunshine, starlight, and enjoying the nourishing, well, not only the nourishing qualities, but I feel like there's a lot of nourishing and nurturing that many of us can tap into on Friday in nature or from nature. So some of us may be inspired to step out under the stars or under the sun or into the wind, like this beautiful breeze out here now, and just nourish ourselves, recharge ourselves, refuel. Feels like a great word to use, refueling. Some of us have been extremely busy. Some of us have been in preparation mode, or we've been hectic, focusing on things. So just stopping and stepping outside into nature and taking some really nice deep breaths and just spending a few minutes doing that might be really helpful and beneficial for refueling us at this time so we can keep going. It's good to do that from time to time rather than working ourselves flat and exhausted and into overwhelm and a massively stressed space where we just flatten. And then we need a few days to actually refuel ourselves or to recharge ourselves again. So it's good to do it periodically from time to time. When we're feeling busy and just kind of small moments or small or short times of refueling just to help keep us going throughout the long term rather than working ourselves into the ground. So let's make an effort, if we're inspired to on Friday, to stop and smell the roses, to stop and take some nice deep breaths, to stop and step outside into nature, if that's the thing that we can do on Friday. But we don't have to be out in nature. You know, sometimes it's just opening our window or looking, or if we've got a plant or something in our home or a nice bunch of flowers that we can connect with. If we can't get outside at all, if the weather's terrible, if our body is in a immobile space at this time, we might want to perhaps put on a documentary to watch of something in nature, or do a meditation, imagining ourselves swimming in the ocean or being on an island and relaxing back under the sun. So there's things that we can do if we aren't able at this time to step out into nature itself. So recharging, refueling seems to be the important message for us, and nature has what we need, is what I feel I want to say, to refuel, to recharge. So let's stop, breathe, count our blessings, and spend a little time out in nature if we're able to and if we're inspired to. It's great to be out in nature and just listen and just feel and just observe and just notice. Listen to how we feel. Listen to what we're hearing. Sometimes there's so much going on in our own head that we're not even noticing all this beautiful sounds and song, a bird song, for example, that are playing out around us. So let's listen while we're spending this time refueling or recharging on Friday. And it may not be all day. It may just be 5 minutes. It may just be half an hour that we can find. And that half an hour, that 5 minutes, that whatever amount of time that we have available will be valuable and will be what we need. So we can trust that. So nature calls us on Friday. So I trust that makes sense to you. If it's not Friday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance. So let's now look for the best card for Saturday, the 27th of January. Hello, Batya. Batya, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. Batya has shared. Thank you, Batya. I'm so honoured that you enjoy what you've heard so far and perhaps what you might hear enough to share already. So thank you. Sharing to me is a huge compliment, I guess, or I guess compliment's the best word at this time. For you to, you know, some people share before I even really start, and to me that's a real compliment to me that you love my work enough or love this video enough to share it. So thank you. Megan, I hear a lot of thunder. Well, hopefully it's not the wind in my microphone because it is quite windy. Maybe it's thunder at your place. So thunder's a beautiful energy to be around because it really does shake and stir things up. Wonderful. Hi, Camilla. So I'm now looking for the best card for Saturday, the 27th of January. And we're going to go with this card here. And we've got a featured card. This is Lizard, card 3, and it's got more information to follow here. So it wants us to draw the third card from the deck. So I'm just going to go down to card number 3 here. And we've got the Lotus Heart. So we've got these two cards have come up together for Saturday. So what I'm going to do is look at these separately, and then we're going to look at their relationship together. So we've got Lizard first, card 3. And the key words say optimism, appearances, delusion, and illusion. This card usually comes up wanting us to, or suggesting to us, to be a little bit careful of taking things at face value, or I want to say believing what's been presented or what's appearing to us on the shiny exterior. So this talks about just being a little bit careful of things that sound too good to be true, things that seem too fantastic or amazing. You know, it's a bit like that used car that may be all prettied up and all polished up on the outside and all cleaned up on the engine. And we might have a great car salesman selling us this car, but perhaps underneath there's a shoddy engine or some other mechanical thing that is an issue that's been covered up. So it's just, let's just be a bit aware of that perhaps on Saturday, that if we're looking at things to buy, or if we're have a meeting with someone who's promising the world to us, let's just be a little bit cautious of that. It might not necessarily mean that the engine's shoddy or that that person is lying, but it just is a little bit of a warning card, just to be careful not to take things at face value, totally at face value. Let's ask some questions. Let's look at the fine print. Let's take that car for a test drive or get it checked out by a mechanic. That sort of thing, just to be mindful of. There's this sense too I'm getting with this card of shedding our old skin, and there seems to be a lot of shedding, but a lot of youthful, new, revived, juicy skin, I guess, feels like a good word to use, that's coming up from underneath. This skin now on this lizard feels new, it feels vibrant, it feels youthful, it feels fresh. It feels like the old skin has shedded off. So I feel like a lot of us have been focusing a lot this year already, in this last month or so, on shedding a lot of our old skin. And we may be feeling that on Saturday, this sense of revival within us, this sense of clarity, this sense that that we've changed within ourselves. So let's allow our new skin to shine through from that old skin that we've been stripping away in these last weeks and months. So that's the lizard. And the other card that came with the lizard is card 22, called Lotus Heart. And the key words say Om mantra, meditate, reconnect, I love that word, and peace. So reconnect really stands out. And I love that word. It is a really powerful word. Reconnecting with ourselves, perhaps, reconnecting with our life, reconnecting with others, reconnecting with our passion, our sense of purpose, reconnecting with our desire, reconnecting with our desire to take action, to move forward, to step through that doorway, to try something new, to start a new hobby, to take our skill to the next level. So reconnection feels very empowering for us on Saturday. Reconnection in whatever form it resonates with you and whatever form it inspires within you. So if you're struggling at this time, in this moment in your life and within yourself, is there something in that word reconnect or reconnection that can help you perhaps reconnect with yourself so you can continue to proceed or just feel a little bit better. Sometimes it's helpful to reconnect with ourselves so we can make some adjustments and get back into a space of balance again. So this talks about opening in the heart. It talks about connecting in with our heart as well. So opening in the heart, blossoming, growing, becoming fuller in the heart. One thing I love, and was a really huge focus for me last year in 2017, was opening or expanding or deepening my capacity to love, so that I could feel more love and give more love, so I could receive more love as well as give more love, by expanding and deepening my capacity to love. So can you expand your capacity to love, or deepen your capacity to love, or open up? Imagine your heart like a flower opening and blossoming as you reconnect further with yourself and get to know who you are on a deeper level, and who you are in a more pure and honest and real way. Not those titles, the job that you do, the things that you do aside. Who are you underneath those things that you do and that title that you wear? Who are you under that role that you play? If you're not sure, then Saturday feels very favourable to reconnect with who you are under the surface. So remember, I said this card is about looking past the surface. So on a personal level, this feels like looking below the surface of our own hearts, below the surface of our own titles and roles and things that we do in our life. Who are we under all that if we strip all that stuff away? So how can you reconnect further with yourself? How can you let your beautiful skin, youthful skin, your beautiful glowing heart shine from underneath, from inside? So that's the guidance for Saturday. It feels quite deep, potentially. So just take on board what feels right for you and let the rest go. Paul says, "Who are you?" Yeah, it's funny when people randomly stumble across my videos and ask that. Well, I guess if you watch from the beginning, I will introduce myself there. But yeah, that's a good question. Who am I? Past my titles and the roles that I play and what I do in my life. I know that who I am below what I am is someone that's a deep feeler. I have a very strong desire to help people. I care for people. I'm very sensitive to everything. I feel like I'm open and sensitive to how I feel, how others feel, and what's going on around me, because it's not just about people. It's about my environment, my home, what I'm working on, what I'm creating, how I feel as I flow through my moments. I'm an extremely passionate person who loves to love. I love to live, and I do my best to make the most out of my moments and my days and my life. They're just a few things that come to mind at this moment for me. And perhaps that might help get the ball rolling for you. Who are you under the titles and under the roles that you play, underneath the surface? Let's grab the singing bell. Haven't played that for a while, have I? I'm going to play the singing bell before I choose the theme card for Friday and Saturday. So this is my singing bell. It's Tibetan, a Tibetan singing bell, and it doesn't have the ringer inside. So I've taken that out and I turn my bell up this way, just like a singing bowl. These, if you're tossing up, sometimes people say that they want to get a Tibetan singing bowl. If you have the choice between a bowl and a bell, sometimes the bell you can get a sound out of much easier. And they do work extremely well for different things. I use them a lot in my healing work. So I'm going to play the singing bell, and Of course, trust what you feel you need in this moment, these moments as I play it. So if you are struggling, if you feel you need some healing or some peace or some strength or whatever it is you feel is important for you, please trust your intuition. But if you're feeling okay, I'm going to encourage you to drop down past the surface, drop down past the experiences. Oh my goodness, I've been streaming on my the silly me. I've been streaming on my data instead of my Wi-Fi. So I just got an announcement to say that my data was getting low, which means I'll have to get more credit now. But anyway, I'm back. So yeah, I'm going to encourage you, if you've got nothing that's more pressing than this, to connect with the bell and connect with yourself. See how you can drop down below the surface of yourself. It's a bit like being in the ocean and just sailing around in a boat, or in a boat or in a yacht. It doesn't matter what the boat is. Sailing around on the surface, quite comfortable sailing around up here. What if you dived over, or the boat filled up with water and you dropped down into the depths of the ocean within yourself? Perhaps something like that might be great to visualize. So I'm going to play this. I'm not going to talk. Take some deep breaths. There's nothing you can do wrong. So let's see what happens. It may be scary if you're not used to going under the surface with yourself, if you're not used to connecting with yourself. It may be scary to begin with. You may need to step out of your comfort zone. Got a couple of helicopters flying low. Extremely low are the fire ones. Wow. Okay. Okay, that was pretty loud. It was very low, that particular one. There must be a fire somewhere. They've got the water carrier things. So that's that. It was very strong. I could feel it rumbling on the deck here that I'm sitting on. So let's now look for the best card for the theme for Friday and Saturday. So the theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Friday and Saturday. So we're going to go with this card here. Oh, we've got card 29 called Creation. This card hasn't come up for a long time. So this shows that we are moving through things. When we get repeat cards all the time, it shows that we're still moving through the same thing. These new cards are showing me, and I feel quite strongly, that we are moving through things, and we may be moving through them more than we realise. Sometimes we have to be careful that we're not holding almost the echo of the thing in play, the echo of the problem or what happened to us in play through our mind. So it's good to check in with ourselves from time to time and make sure that we are not holding ourselves in that old space, but allowing ourselves to move on. So there's a new energy around, and this is creation. It says source, uncoil, light and authentic. This talks about uncoiling ourselves now. So in other words, it talks about going deep within ourselves. It talks about coming out of hiding. It talks about revealing our true and authentic self at a deeper level. There's a lot of support and a lot of potential, especially on Saturday, for us to really reconnect strongly with ourselves and get to know our truth more and get to know who we are at a deeper level. So whatever we're going through, let's look at what we can learn about ourselves in this situation. How can we uncoil ourselves just that little bit more? How can we open up just that little bit more, or speak up just that little bit more than usual? So we may be pushed and forced out of our comfort zone. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No, I don't feel it is, because it tests us and it teaches us more about who we are and more about how we interact with our life. So if we are faced with tests, let's face them as best as we can. Let's keep perspective. Let's not blow them out of proportion. And let's look at how we can re-establish our connection with who we are. How can we become more authentic within ourselves? And it may be important to think about how we describe ourselves and these titles and roles and the things that we do that I've already talked quite a lot about. And perhaps those things, dropping below them, dropping past them, or whatever it is that works for us to visualize, so that we can drop into the true nature of ourselves. Because are those titles, are those roles we play, are they our true nature? Who are we without those titles and roles? If it was to all be taken away from us tomorrow, how would we cope? How would we be? One of the biggest lessons I had with this was when I actually went bankrupt. This was years ago, 2001. And the house was sold. We packed everything up into this little caravan with my 2 young children and my ex at the time, my husband at the time, and I, and the 4 of us downsized majorly. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it taught me about what was really truly important. And are those titles, are those material things really truly important? And how much weight or value are we putting into these things? When it comes down to the crunch, are they essential for us to feel happy or to experience true freedom in our lives and within ourselves? So let's uncoil, let's become broader and more open and more connected, more deeply connected with who we are over this weekend. It's very exciting. I'm excited. I love deepening my connection. I love confronting myself. I love challenging myself, and I love aligning further with my true and authentic self. I love stripping myself back more and more to connect with who I truly am. And that's what's really important to me. How important is that to you? It may not be that important, and that's okay. Just because it's important to me doesn't mean that it has to be important for you. So I'm sharing these things to help you perhaps think outside the box, or to challenge yourself in a different way, or to perhaps become stronger in your truth and your values. And they may be totally opposite to mine. My way is not the only way, and I'm not here preaching my way. I'm just here sharing and opening my heart and being vulnerable. It's not an easy thing to sit here and open your heart and let yourself be exposed like this. So I do this because it challenges me personally. And now I suggest you think about what challenges you. How can you reconnect further with yourself? How can you deepen your connection with you? How can you strengthen your values and your truth and what's important to you, whether they align with what I feel or not. It's your truth. Feel strong, and the more aligned you are with your truth and who you are, the less that you are affected by negativity, by other people's bad day, by stuff that happens around us. I mean, still it can affect us, but there's this sense of having a thicker skin or something. It doesn't affect as deeply as it used to. That's what I've noticed for me. So, thank you for sharing with me and being in this space and sharing your time with me today, our precious time, which is certainly extremely precious. Today I've used my Speed of Light Oracle cards. These have been completely created by me, and if you want to learn more about them, just have a look on my website. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. If you want to learn more about the work that I do, please visit my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I haven't really got new things about at the moment because I'm in serious preparation mode for our retreat, which is only, I can nearly say, less than 7 days away now, because by this time next week it would be well underway. So we're in the last 6 to 7 days countdown to our 7-day retreat. So I'm really looking forward to spending a week with our beautiful attendees, and if you're one of them, I can't wait to meet you or connect with you again, and pamper you and challenge you and support you, and cook some lovely food for you, and create a really beautiful homely space and introduce you to our beautiful island. Really looking forward to it. So preparing mode for me. I will be about when I can. So I'll connect with you again soon. I'll do my best to be back on Sunday to share some guidance. So have a fantastic couple of days. Let me know how you get on and how this guidance sits for you, especially as you go through your days. So if you come back and reconnect and something's really stood out for you, please let me know. I'd love to hear and celebrate or enjoy that space with you. So thanks so much for being here, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. And namaste means that the divine, the creator within me, honors and acknowledges the divine, the creator within you. That we are equal, we are one. So thank you for being who you are. Namaste.